Maybe one of the last chances for him to impress on that left side. Shows a four-man midfield with two men up front. And I guess that really depends upon where Rafinha suits up. Will it be a bit of a diamond? Will it be a flat four? And even if Draxler does push into the attack, Kylian Mbappe is the target man, Thomas.
Yeah, without a doubt. Two holders as well in front of the back four with Diallo and Hakimi. Always love to go forward in Ganagay and Pereira, obviously. Herrera becomes the playmaker. You're right. Is Rafinha going to be a winger with Draxler and Mbappe as the 9? Or will it be more of a 4-4-2 diamond, Phil? Only time will tell, but still good attacking options without all the big names.
Mikel Lesage, the man with the ball in hand. De La Rue and Jafredo with the buttons. Hussein Ojak, Steven Torregrossa running the lines. Remy Landry, the fourth official, as the two bosses exchange pleasantries. Of course, everyone knows about Mauricio Pochettino. We'll talk a bit more over the next couple of hours about Pascal Gastien. He is a character, and he has this team believing in itself. Take a look at Gastien in the midfield. Yeah, that is his son. Up front, Hamel will be running the line. And here's the way they will play out in that 4-2-3-1. Give me an idea what to expect from the upstarts, Thomas.
Huge game for Hamel, obviously, without Bayo out, the 3 goals and 2 assists, man. A solid back four that's been there and done that with Pascal Gastien. Pretty much that starting 11 without Hamel played for him for the last 2 years. That's one of the reasons why they've been so good, Phil. Gastien, his son in midfield, the engine, the wide players. Dosso and Alivina, huge on wing play.
The passing of one of the tragic stories in the world of football, Jean-Pierre Adams, a very promising center back who was capped 22 times for France, had a knee injury, Thomas, went to the hospital for surgery, but complications from the anesthesia, and he ended up in a coma for the last 2 decades, finally passing away on the 6th of September. Tragic story.
Yeah, what love can do, Phil. His wife tended to him for those 2 decades. Pretty remarkable story.
Some of the unavailables making their way to the booth to watch. Sit back and enjoy. The ball rolling in the Parc des Princes. Clermont Foot with the ball in their possession. The white with the red and blue trim. Started way back in 1911. They have had some success. Semifinals of the Coupe de France back just following World War II. They did win Le Championnat National back in 02 and 07, but promoted to Ligue 1 this season for the first time in history after finishing second last season in Ligue 2. Good look here at the son of Pascal Gastien, Johann Gastien. And just in case you're wondering, yes, Thomas, it is after that Johann he was named, although not exactly that type of player. A little bit more hard-nosed, which gives you an idea how this Clermont team plays.
Yeah, without a doubt, Phil. Although at this particular time, 456 touches, 387 passes, which is #1 in Ligue 1. He's the engine where it goes through. He can win those 50-50s and start the attack, the lethal attack in particular, with their 2 wide players, Phil. Big question again is, Bayo with 3 goals, not starting today. Can Hamel, his replacement, provide some chances and goal-scoring opportunities?
Something else also to focus in on. Here's Hakimi rolling it wide. This is a rather depleted PSG attack. Kylian Mbappe playing in the center where he has not had much success in his career, although he does seem to have discovered the aerial game for the first time since joining the Parisians. But should they need some firepower on the bench in the second half, really Mauro Icardi coming back from injury is it. No Neymar, no Messi available, so Mbappe is going to need to carry the load.
Yeah, it's very important, Phil, that out of that 4-3-3, you can see Rafinha on the right, Drexler on the left, Mbappe is a traditional 9, Herrera underneath with Gana Gay. Can he get the service that he normally gets from some of these great names you just mentioned in this particular game? But how good has he been, though, Mbappe, for this team consistently now through 4 games?
And since the last time we talked, Thomas, we know he's going to be here for a while, at least through the winter window. You know, Leonardo's going to be trying to convince him to extend, but there was, with talk of the greatest transfer window ever, maybe the greatest non-transfer in the history of the game, Mbappe sticking around.
Yeah, huge, in particular for regaining the title in Ligue 1, but more so for the Champions League. Having a player like Mbappe being part of it this year, and yes, potentially years to come. That is Leonardo's task right now. And I think Messi will figure in that heavily.
Well, we also saw Lionel Messi up in the upper reaches. Chance here for Mbappe, brings it to the left, but stripped away nicely. Montonji and Zedadka doing well. PSG gets it back, taken off Diallo's boot and tracked down into the corner by Clermont.
Yeah, Montonji and Ogier, so good field, the 2 center backs. Zedadka on the right side, the Algerian international. The staple of Pascal Castien for a few years. As I said, 10 of these players, Phil, played for him last year and even prior to that. So they're used to the system. It's almost like Lille last year under the great coach, having a keen understanding of the way they play, obviously out of that 4-2-3-1.
Finishing the thought of Messi, a lot of times back in his Barcelona days following a FIFA window, he would also get a game off, but of note, he's actually showed up to the stadium here, so maybe another sign that he has bought in to the PSG experiment. A look at the stands as well. We see Icardi. That was a question with his history with Lionel Messi, that maybe with the arrival of Messi, Icardi could be on the way, but that's not the case. Di Maria also sticking around. But Keylor Navas up in the stands, and many have said they did not bring Donnarumma in to sit on the bench. It's been a bit of a rough start for Navas, so a chance for Donnarumma to prove that he should hold on to the gloves for a while here today. Drexler directing traffic. Again, it might not seem like much, Thomas, if you're just looking at the stats, but Keylor Navas giving up more than a goal more per game than he did last year after the opening 4 matches. And that's a lot. And one of the reasons why, even though PSG is 4 for 4 in the win column, they have not been impressive in the process.
Well, certainly the first 3 games, Phil, yes, wins, but a lot of goals conceded.
Ball switched far side. Hakimi pushing in. Rafinha in support. The ex-Real Madrid man bypasses the ex-Barca man and loses it, so Rafinha fights back to win it himself. Rafinha, another solid player in the equation.
Yeah. Going back to the defense, Phil, every game we've seen different players, even formations. They played out of a 3 for a while as well in one of the games. Marquinhos comes back in, Kimpembe sits, Kerr out today, who's been very solid, I think. Diallo and Hakimi, the constants out wide.
Although, again, Diallo needs to prove it here today. Here's Mbappe into the box. Stripped again, but first to the loose ball. Coming back to defend and doing quite well, Zedadka. Threaded forward for Idrissa Gueye, but blocked away by Ogier before Rafinha can pounce.
Yeah, a lot of credit will go to Mbappe. What a good pass. Good run by Diallo as well from deep. That's your left fullback, by the way, overlapping your number 9 through the legs, but good intervention there centrally.
Mbappe shouldering it away, dishes across for Draxler, but an off-target left foot.
Every game we almost see a new inclusion of the players you talked about. There's Keylor Navas. This time it's Donnarumma. We've seen Wijnaldum in a few games already. Messi obviously making an appearance in the last game for a few minutes.
Talk about Gini Wijnaldum. Of the new players, he was the one, well, I guess alongside Hakimi, who got the most of a run from the opening 4 matches. But, well, while he might have been out for a run, he barely got over a jog. Still, he fills that number 8 spot that in some ways has been vacant since the departure of Blaise Matuidi. Just needs to do a little bit better here today. Draxler, Herrera, Rafinha getting a chance to try and push Wijnaldum to the bench for good. Draxler through. Rafinha, but on the wrong shoulder. Mbappe almost comes around. Kept in play by Draxler. Nice work, Clermont. Sliding through Presnel Kimpembe. And now looking to recover. Kimpembe also back in the starting lineup today. And I don't want to say shaky, but let's just say he's been a bit vulnerable in the early going, Thomas.
In particular in the air, Phil, where you think Kimpembe is a power. That's where most goals come from. Out wide crosses. And then the opponent's finding seams between Kimpembe here. Marquinhos was in there as well. They finally kept the 0 in the last game, Phil.
Through ball for Mbappe, holds off the defender. However, on the wrong side of a whistle.
I still think those are the 2 best center backs. In Marquinhos and Kimpembe.
Of course, no Sergio Ramos still as he's trying to get in game shape. And just like people are saying with Donnarumma, they didn't bring over the former Real Madrid legend just to sit on the bench. And it's Kimpembe's job for now, although, as you pointed out earlier, Thilo Kehrer has probably been the best defender of the bunch. Takedown outside the box as Mbappe colliding with Zadatka, who goes in the book.
Got a correct call as well. One of the ways to stop the speed of Mbappe is just to tactically bring him down. There's that sprint, there's the good leading ball, and there's the obstruction without a doubt. Arm up from behind. Correct yellow card. That's what Mbappe can do, Phil. He can hurt you off the dribble, coming short. He can also stretch you with his great speed. And again, Gana Gay being the provider, playing a little bit higher up the pitch with Danilo Pereira sitting in as the number 6.
Through this Demas trying to marshal his wall. 3 from distance. Mbappe caressing it in for the run of Marquinhos, who meets it but can't force it home.
High line. Mbappe recognizes. What a good run, by the way, of Marquinhos from deep, timing it before the ball is being kicked, getting away from people as well. Can't get enough on it. Becomes a fairly easy save for Desmas, but Marquinhos, over the years for club and country, has been so good on set pieces.
And again, at just 6 feet tall, maybe one of the most efficient players in the air in the game.
Great word, Phil. Efficient, you're right. Timing of the...
Estienne into the middle, and out comes Donnarumma with his first action.
And again, ball from Mbappe. The late run from Marquinhos just gets away from him because it's an in-swinger, Phil, which is very hard to get power behind. Flicks it. Not enough.
110 years of history for Clermont Foot. And again, just to give you an idea, as the ball all the way back, trying to track it down, Idrissa Gana Gueye, but PSG didn't start until 1970. when Clermont was already heading towards its 7th decade. But this is their first time in the top flight, and the Lancers, maybe one of the most surprising stories in Europe so far. Again, mentioned they finished 2nd last year, but right now the team that actually won is Troyes, and they have been a bit hard done by. Playing well even against PSG earlier, but just can't seem to find the net. Clermont, 9 goals so far. Only PSG has scored more.
Which is again a tribute to the approach of Pascal Gastien, who knows this team well. They know him as well within that system. They're not afraid to go at you at times, as they do right here, Phil. Good results on the road, a win and a draw.
Strong challenge near side. Dossou trying to get to the end line.
Yeah, Dossou has been so good. On the other side, Rashani, who's not starting today, the Kosovo international, has got 3 goals on the year. Dossou 1 and an assist.
Clermont putting the pressure on. Mentioned Pascal Gastien, a huge fan of Clockwork Orange, and Johan Cruyff specifically. Ball swept inside. In fact, named his son after the legendary Dutchman. But this is a team that is built on being aware and being difficult to score against. The goals, just an added bonus. Sweet touch back by Dossou.
And only time will tell, Phil, if this is an early flurry and things will settle in. But so far, this team, as I said again, has excelled in all areas.
Something we've talked about in years past for the teams that finish towards the top and earn promotion. Those early games at the higher reaches, they haven't learned they're supposed to lose yet. So they play with a lot more confidence than maybe they do after going through the wars a couple of times. Nice touch, but can't get the second.
And the big decisions always, I've been there as a coach, Phil. What kind of changes do we make in the off-season? Are we confident enough that the talent level will be up there so we can compete? So far, they've made the right choices. And that's huge. You don't have to integrate several players into a team. This is a team that's been together for years and understands each other, and looks right now, 5 games in, they belong.
Well, and you raise a very interesting point. Ball across the middle as Clermont sweeping PSG left and right. Out wide for Nsimba. PSG made, well, eventually, I guess if you include purchasing Danilo Pereira, 7 moves. Threaded ball forward. Amel trying to come on the end of it. Crossed in. No one really there, but Abdou Diallo could hear the footsteps. It'll be a throw in just shy of the flag.
Yeah, that's the right thing as well. Good interplay that left side. Simba coming through late, Phil, with that cross. Amel keeping things alive with a good penetrating diagonal run. Throw in for Clermont Foot.
Ball smashed away. Clermont making 7 moves during the window, although much of them really to try and provide a little depth as they'll be tested in the top flight. One familiar name, especially for Rafinha, Oriol Busquets, the former Barça B midfielder, on the roster now. Swept in by Dossou, blasted in off the deflection by Berthomier. The rebound, and it's cleared away at the last moment. Clermont knocking on the door, pounding on the door.
And if you get good numbers going forward, again, width is so important. Wide play and getting balls into dangerous areas, and then rebounds will happen, Phil, as well.
Swept across, Donnarumma drops, headed back into the middle. Marquinhos stretches out.
I love the variation of their attack.
Now comes PSG with the pedal to the metal, Hakimi. Well, look how quickly they get back. Mbappe. triple teamed, eventually forced to retreat. Rafinha, Mbappe, Hakimi, calm under pressure, and then maybe a little too calm. Nice by Zadatka.
Great. You're talking about a little bit too calm. That's Samet, the 19-year-old Ghanaian player that probably is a little bit in awe. You just have to keep the ball moving and simple early on to get himself into this game. Him and Gastien so important, sitting in front of the back four. And you said about transition defense, Phil. How quickly do they get their numbers back, and how quickly do they get their numbers forward and press PSG right now? Very impressive through the first 15 minutes.
And again, can they keep it up for 90 minutes? But frustrating the Parisians to this point. And again, we've seen this in years past, Thomas, as Rafinha knocked to the turf. Especially for the big clubs, they can be vulnerable after an international window. Maybe a little distracted. Many of their players have been away on international duty, while a team like Clermont, they don't really have that problem. Pretty much just 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
And I think that's where the difference is. Quiet preseason, 2 weeks to prepare with that same starting 11.
In for Mbappe, Rafinha moves. Mbappe shoulder to shoulder, says the referee. Lesage keeps the whistle in hand. Outlet for Amel. And he slams into Kimpembe, who doesn't even notice. Take another look. A little bit of a push from that angle.
Yeah. Referee in a tough spot, blind spot, so to speak. Doesn't see the arms. Eventually, the shoulder comes through, and he thinks it's just a manly shoulder-to-shoulder play. That's a foul, in my opinion.
Trying to sweep it away, Gastien. Dribbling across Idrissa. Wide for Hakimi. Ganagay again. Kind of interesting, something you alluded to when you were looking at the starting lineup, Thomas. Not often you're going to be taking on a team that's never been in the top flight before and say, you know what, we better stick 2 holding midfielders out there. But a lot of respect for Gastien's offense. Here's Hakimi. Nice shake and bake through the middle, and Demas trying to keep it out, but it falls back for Herrera. The ball knocked home. Mbappe there to celebrate as well. And PSG finally forces it home.
We keep talking about Andres Herrera in every game, Phil, finding that second ball, keeping things alive. Hakimi with a great step, good ball in, the goalkeeper save, but there's Andres Herrera, and Mbappe is on sides, just ahead of 2 defenders.
Does he get a touch here? Regardless, it's a goal for PSG, but will it be Herrera or Mbappe?
Well, you have to give it to Mbappe, who gets, I think, a little bit of a touch on it. We can arguably say that the referee right now is probably talking to somebody up there to make sure Mbappe was in an onside position, which I think he was when Herrera headed a ball towards goal. The big question is, if it stands, is it Mbappe's goal?
Well, we wait. What's Pochettino telling Marquinhos? Where does he see the vulnerabilities so far?
Well, I mean, Marquinhos goes straight to Diallo, and that's where, again, the danger is coming from, particularly on that right side and the defensive left side as well. So, yes, take your chances going forward, but don't go too often because you're unbalances. There we can see it again.
And again, you see the second player in Sadatka, and actually a third at the top. No doubt Mbappe onside. Maybe take another look to see how much of a touch, if any, he got, but that goal should stand.
Herrera, to me, has been outstanding in any position in midfield 3. Sometimes a little bit deeper, sometimes on the right side out of a diamond. Today, more as a 10 underneath Mbappe. He's made a difference, Phil. Interesting. It takes a fairly long time. I don't know if that's a positive, a negative. There's Messi. Surpassing Pele, scoring a hat-trick. Some of those
The goal is going to stand, no doubt. And we might have to take another look to see. I'm not sure Mbappe got a touch, but he did make a play for it. So it would have been offside if he was in an offside position. He was not, it is not. And Ander Herrera, the most unsung star on this PSG team, does it again. He's been a provider early on. Now he gets it done himself.
There was some confusion, but at the same time.
So how does Clermont respond? Little chip inside by Dossou, headed back into the 6, but well covered.
Playing today and right for the PSG fans, a lot of superstars. We're yet to see the defender.
After outscoring the opposition 4-0 in their opening 2 matches, this is now the 3rd straight match where Clermont has gone behind. And in fact, in the last 2, they actually were down by 2 goals, but were able to fight back for a draw in both. So PSG cannot be too comfortable.
Great point, Phil. 2-2 versus Metz, where they came from behind. They're actually leading 3-1. Gave 2 late goals.
It was Elbasan Rashani with a brace in that one.
Yep.
Rashani also with the equalizer goal in that last match, and he is available on the bench. Mentioned really only Icardi for PSG, but there is some firepower for Clermont. Midway through this opening half, the goal from Herrera, PSG leads. Nice switch by Mbappe, pushing Hakimi forward. Drops it to the spot, and almost meets Pereira in stride.
Yeah, Gana Gay and Danilo Pereira, they can pick their spots now. Who comes from that deep position late? This time it's Pereira. What a good sliding tackle there in order to prevent that. But Hakimi again involved, Phil, as he was in that first goal. The ability for him to get end line and play good balls across.
From the corner, sails over Marquinhos. Pereira can't. And all the way back for Hakimi. Gana Gay over for Draxler. Herrera calls for it, but he'll bypass him and go straight to Rafinha. Herrera maintains possession, in for Draxler. Diallo into the middle. Gastien can't clear. And Mbappe all the way over. Something to consider also in this day where teams, for economic reasons, footballing reasons, or whatever, are trimming the first team roster. Thomas, 35 players on the first team for PSG.
Pretty amazing. I remember the early years in MLS. I could have 18. And the cap was 800,000 for 18 players. Good luck.
Chance through for Idrissa Gana Gueye. Mbappe looking for an opening, and he does sneak it past the defender, but not past Demas.
A good recognition again of Gana Gueye with the ball to Mbappe. Continues his run. That's the 1v1. Gets inside where he's so good, Phil, but Desmas reads that one quick and early. Becomes a routine save. Midfield triangle of Herrera. Gana Gueye, Herrera, very good, Phil. And with Hakimi, that's where the dangers come from. Not from Draxler, not from Rafinha so far.
Out across into touch, a throw in for the visitors.
Clermont Foot has threatened a little bit, but again, that block of 6 and the willingness of Draxler and Rafinha to be a little bit more honest probably than some other players on this roster gets good numbers defensively.
Into the middle and almost met. Amel could not get a touch to it though.
Yeah, you can't avoid, Phil, that a good team will get at you once in a while. But
Wouldn't be surprised if he sees a little action in the second half. Of course, they do have plenty of left backs, just none who have laid claim. Chance through from Ganagay, but doesn't find the alley.
That's a good point about Nuno Mendes. Maybe him and Hakimi become the most important signings. Talked about need, Phil. Those were positions where they needed to get better.
Nice touch by Dossou, blasts it low, but Donnarumma drops the apron.
Case in point, Nuno Mendes is a better defender. Great going forward as well. Hakimi-like almost. But quicker and the more natural left fullback than Diallo is.
Dagba playing a lot of the action here in the early going, but Levin Kursawa also available. One back by Gastien, sweeps it into the middle and whipped wide by Alavina.
Yeah, Alavina just finds a good position right there. Gets that on the right foot and strikes at left foot. He's so good naturally on that side. It's normally wide, Phil, but the ability for him to come inside without the ball, picking a good spot, striking a good ball at almost the target.
Jim Alavina. In a day where so many of the players' names stand out. Mind if we call you Jim? Trying to keep it alive, Rafinha, and he has been a little wider out there as they are trying to play almost a 4-5-1. One back, and now a little collision, and the whistle blows. Free kick for Clermont outside the box. Ganagay bringing down Hakim Sedatka, 26-year-old right back. Speaking of left back, mentioned Kursawa, who has had flashes, seems to have the tools, but sometimes forgets where he put them. They went out and got Juan Bernat, part of that Valencia left back factory. But after a collision with a teammate, I think it was Kimpembe, way back in week 3 last year, he hasn't played since. Estienne with a deflection off Rafinha. And a hopeful volley that brings down a little frost.
Team up a few times, Phil, barking some instructions. Talked to Marquinhos after that goal. Feels that the organization still is not ideal defensively.
Kept alive, Draxler having to play a little defense. Hakimi tracking back
to be able.
Foot race for Mbappe as he got a lot of distance between himself and his teammates. Creates a little distance in the box. It's left on the doorstep, and Ander Herrera's there again. A brace for the Spaniard. It's 2-0 PSG.
Yeah, talking about luxury, Phil, that's Marquinhos with an incredible pass over 50 yards. Knowing that there is space behind that back four to find Mbappe in isolation, slows down a little bit, looks over his shoulder, and waits for trailers to come. Then that's a little shimmy here. Whoop, drop the shoulder, go again outside, play the ball across. And yes, they're fortunate, but you also got to give credit to the hard runs being made by Rafinha initially, and Herrera again picking up that second ball, Phil, which is an innate quality to sniff things out where they fall, as he did with the header earlier. Now roofs this one to get them to 2-0. But what a ball by Marquinhos. One of the greatest passing center backs in the world. We talked about his qualities in the air. We talked about his calmness. We never really talked about his passing ability, short or long. Great example.
And Ander Herrera, player that Messi knows well, going back to his Zaragoza and Athletic Bilbao days. One of those quiet players, a link player, a lock player in the midfield We saw it with Manchester United. Sometimes those players are overlooked by the fans, but the managers know what they do. And Mauricio Pochettino glad to have him. So for Clermont, they've played well, but they have not been able to take advantage of their chances. Another one here. PSG ruthlessly efficient. Draxler almost made it through. Seven shots for Clermont, just one on target though. 4 of the 6 for PSG have been on frame and 2 have gone in. Kimpembe trying to hold and then flipped to the ground judo style by Pierre-Yves Hamel. Well, draws him a foul here. Might have got him a medal in Tokyo.
That's for a few years. I did judo, Phil. That was a judo move, no doubt.
You're doing yoga now? Just wondering. A little different.
I tried.
Not exactly the way Cruyff used to do it, but Johan Gastien maintains possession.
When we first came to the United States, which was very much part of the sports culture, Rinus Michels somehow found a strength coach. And every day we walked into the gym before practice, Cruyff was nowhere to be seen. So I don't think I need this. Now we're talking about 1979-80 when Michels was trying to introduce that, but those foreign players didn't take well to that.
Of course, nowadays, even the Oranje doing that. One of the reasons that they have been playing quite well in World Cup qualifying. Another successful window. Wijnaldum getting a little bit of a break today on the available on the bench. Although at this rate, I'm not sure Ander Herrera wants to give the spot back.
He's been with Mbappe their most consistent players, and they've played also quite a few minutes and have excelled.
Little collision, referee spots it.
Yeah, just an awkward one.
Samed.
Again, the 21-year-old getting away from Yana Gay. An awkward push. Taking charge, putting up that wall. Only the first player in the wall field will go one over of the post. Your biggest guy should be number 2 with the post, and then depending on 3 or 4. That's all based on what the goalkeeper wants in a particular side. So he'll take that left side a little more centrally, let the wall do his work on that near side goal.
Of course, Gigi Donnarumma at what, 6'5", almost seems like his arms could touch each post. Gastien will leave it, driven into the wall by Berthommier, deflected away. Gastien, with a little bit of help, wins it back, although part of that help was a push.
And the wall does his job, Phil, staying tight, being brave, jumping a little bit to get more height even. How many times do we see players turn their back? So good concentration and discipline.
All the way back to the back line. Lemas. Gastien. Flicked forward. Marquinhos finds the angle. Alavina finds the ball and keeps it alive. Nice work by the Gabon attacker. Although Marquinhos calm under pressure.
Yeah, the relationship between Kimpembe and Marquinhos is a little bit better. Kimpembe gets a piece of the ball, allows Marquinhos to stay with the runner. You get the cover right there, the balance. And as you said, Phil, they're not giving a lot towards goal, towards Donnarumma. Give the back four and those two holding midfielders some credit. As much as Clermont has threatened in that final third, they've prevented shots at target. Whereas on the other hand, PSG's been very proactive in scoring 2 goals off deflections, being a little bit more aggressive in that 18-yard box.
Nice by Rafinha. With all the injuries he's had in recent years, still not shying away from throwing his body in. Here's the hero, Herrera. Herrera wide. Draxler moving over to the right side. And of note, so is Kimpembe. Marquinhos has switched in that center back position. Why would that be, Thomas? Is that a matchup on a man-for-man?
Not necessarily, Phil. I think this has happened just through natural cause. I think that will be restored shortly hereafter.
See what happens here, although it does look the possibility that Marquinhos is staying closer to Amel. Here comes PSG the other way. Ganagay to the 18, deflects. Draxler top, denied a third as Sedadka drops to the 6 to head it clear.
Great composure by Draxler, opening up, pretending he's going to go with that right foot, cutting it onto his left. Defender there, Ogier.
Raphael, it says. I guess he's grown up, not little Raphael anymore. Or son of World Cup winner.
Rafinha and Draxler slowly have done a great job, Phil, in terms of just keeping the ball moving. No loss of possession of those two players, linking up well, allowing Mbappe, Herrera to pick their spots.
Looks like Herrera's actually slid into that center channel as well. Versatility available when you have so many midfielders out there. Mbappe also likes to wander. Little Alphonse and Gaston, though, as he and Rafinha miss the ball, and down the other way comes Clermont. Cordelza Dossou coming across, electing to maintain possession. So dangerous, as you mentioned.
And look at the starting positions of both Rafinha and Draxler, so connected right now. It's a 4-5-1 basically. Mbappe high, everybody drops. 40 minutes in, don't concede at this stage. That's the #1 priority. Hunt for the third one.
Trying to split the back line. Marquinhos there, flag stayed down. That was close. But if Amel could have maintained possession, it could have been an interesting chance. Back for Donnarumma.
Fell asleep. He's close to Hamel and allows him to get away from him. I'm not sure if he's holding the line for offsides. Marquinhos reads that really well.
Another chance splitting that channel by Alavina, but the ball never comes. Here's Bertomier, switches wide. In Simba, the Congolese man, inside for Alavina, but blocked away as Marquinhos does return to the right. Spinning and pirouetting through Draxler. Hakimi tried to sneak it through, but a touch by Ogier. They trail by 2. Mentioned the last 2 games they've come back from 2 goals down. But that has not been against PSG.
But it certainly will be a tall order, Phil. And reality sets in, without a doubt. This team, excellent start. Will be competitive against most teams. But you're right, this is PSG.
Mbappe, who we thought would be almost camped out as a number 9, instead trying to draw the defense and make room for runs from the middle. That time it's cleared away. Well, after this, things do get a little easier. A welcome against Brest and then a trip to Stade Rennais before they welcome Monaco. And then a trip to Lorient, who just had one of the shocks. Well, actually, is it a shock anymore? Lille struggling as Lorient gets the 3 points in that head-to-head against the champions.
You take the heart and soul of a team, which was their head coach, in my opinion.
Nice cut to the middle, a little scissor move to get the shot away, but Alavina denied by a sliding Marquinhos. They will get the corner, though.
A brilliant Jim off the dribble, saying, okay, Hakimi, here we go, and a step over. Comes inside and is right, cuts back again, turns Herrera inside out, and then Marquinhos again with a brilliant sliding tackle. Forcing the ball for a corner.
French-born Gabon international. You can see why they have 9 goals so far this season. Dropping it at the edge of the 6, just sails above Puntonji, back into the middle. Marquinhos there again to clear it away.
Yeah, you just got to think, Phil, with the ability for them to penetrate in that final third, at times inside the 18-yard box. If their leading goal scorer, Bayu, would have been there with 3 goals on the year, also 3 assists, by the way. There's Drexler cutting back on his left foot. Or Herrera, sorry, Drexler, yes, and Augier just making sure and preventing the goal.
A flood of white shirts pushing forward, trying to chip into that lead before the halftime break. Alavina wide over Bertomier. Still in danger, though. Headed down for Donnarumma. Alavina creating another chance.
And surprisingly against Pereira, it's about 3 inches taller, but didn't really get any height at it. Not much to do for Donnarumma, but there seems to be, and that's not a knock against Keylor Navas, a little more confidence for the players in front of him.
In front of Donnarumma.
Yeah, I mean, the little things he's done very much right. Sets his wall perfectly. Talks, there's good communication going on.
Of course, again, the thing that makes Navas so special is his ability to do the unexpected. We'll see if Donnarumma has that success. A push from behind by a frustrated Mbappe. Free kick inside the box for Clermont Foot. So first half winding to a close, Thomas. And maybe one of the better first halves this season for Pochettino and PSG.
Good organization, no goals against, 2-4. Mbappe involved consistently, which is important. And then again, Herrera being the outstanding performer for PSG in the second half.
Last year, more homes canceled cable TV than ever before. Why? It's just 2.
To convert and put his team up at the half, 2-0.
If Mark, Mr. Cartoon Machado, didn't have the fighting spirit to draw out his passion, he never would have turned.
Behind the 8 ball, so far so good, regardless who's been in the starting 11.
Added time winding to a close. Ball was rolling. Let's do it again, says Monsieur.
Come on, Caleb, you got this.
Summer passes like a warm breeze. So let's make the most of it with effortless gourmet.
Gastien still in striking distance, but maybe a little more to prove in the second half. There was a good look at Garcia. Not the way Diallo would want to have that first half come to a close, but 2 on the board thanks to that man, and a clean sheet on the other side. PSG heads to the dressing room of the Parc des Princes with
on Pochmark
lead over the upstarts from Clermont.
really performance related or style related.
Download the free Poshmark app now.
Next year, more homes cancel cable. You can get Fubo TV and watch the live sports and TV you love. Try free at FuboTV.com. Last year, more homes canceled cable TV than ever before. Why? It's just too expensive. For half the price of cable, you can get Fubo TV and watch the live sports and TV you love. Try free at FuboTV.com.
If Mark, Mr. Cartoon Machado, didn't have the fighting spirit to draw out his passion, he never would have turned chrome into a canvas. If he let a lack of tools stop him, he never would have started tattooing using a homemade machine. And if he listened to those who said you need an art degree, he never would have perfected the street look that made him a street legend. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Come on, Caleb, you got this.
And if you don't, there are other options.
Quickly, you'll get them next time.
Plan today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Mass Mutual.
Summer passes like a warm breeze. So let's make the most of it. With effortless gourmet meals from Harry and David, including our delicious steak and lobster feast and our main shore seafood bake. View the entire assortment at harryanddavid.com/gourmet.
There's gotta be a better way. At Good To Go Insurance, you can get coverage with as little as $20 down and low monthly payments despite your driving record. Visit goodtogo.com and get coverage fast, cheap, and easy. That's goodtogo.com.
Selling on Poshmark is crazy simple. All you have to do is post a picture, add a description, add a price.
Poshmark app now.
What's Fubo TV? It's live TV for half the price of cable. Watch live sports, plus top shows, movies, and news. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Get in the game with the beIN Sports Connect app. Watch the best sports live like Ligue 1, Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, Turkish Super League, motorsports, and much more. Anywhere, anytime. On your PC, tablet, smartphone, or any other supported device.
It's pure genius, is what it is.
Download the beIN Sports Connect app. Game on. The semifinals of the Copa Libertadores are here on beIN Sports. A battle between two greats of Brazilian football. A war that faces off two historic Copa Libertadores champions. Palmeiras, two-time and reigning Copa Libertadores champion. Atlético Mineiro, 2013 Copa Libertadores champion. It's a fight for a spot in the tournament final. Palmeiras versus Atlético Mineiro. September 21st on beIN Sports. The Express Halftime Show is presented by Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
Welcome back. It is halftime, and of course the halftime here on beIN Sports presented by Geico. Right now, a little insurance needed by PSG with many of their big stars unavailable, and they get the job done. 20th minute. Good idea by Hakimi, and it's finished off by Herrera.
They had the luxury of Hakimi in that final third to put on the afterburners by Simba. The cross, Desmas with the reaction save, falls back centrally. And again, Andres Herrera just finding a seam, finding an opportunity to go, thanks for coming, on the rebound.
And then 6 minutes later, Kylian Mbappe having a go. sneaks this one through.
And this time, Desmas reads that from distance. Good ball in, early ball in by Gana Gay. Gets that isolation, but not enough power.
Again, Kylian Mbappe, the point of the spear. And even if he's not the one to get the cut, he is the one to put the knife in the hands of Ander Herrera again.
Yeah, it all starts with Marquinhos recognizing their space behind that back four. That's the long ball. That's the isolation out of Mbappe you like. The stutter, waiting for trailers to come. Getting around a defender. Augier tries to tackle that one away. Falls again for Herrera. 2-0.
That's the way things stand at the break. Second half coming up. Clermont with some work to do.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free.
Platiquemos sobre la piel. Tu piel. Tratada con una fórmula personalizada de Curology. Tu proveedor dermatológico personalizará una fórmula para el cuidado de tu piel. Pruébelo gratis por 30 días en Curology.com.
I think I'm a good-looking guy, but I have these noodly arms. Look at them! Well, dude, your t-shirt fits you terribly. You should wear True Classic tees. They'll fit you perfectly. Whoa, these are so much better. Now I just gotta do something about this gut. I just heard about this company, True Classic Tees. Go on. Apparently, they fit you perfectly. These are incredible. Who told you about these? Saw them in an ad that we're doing right now.
Get a free second number from Text Now. Use it for dating and your side hustle. Buying and selling online. Calling long distance. With Text Now, give out your number and nothing more.
Guess what? You're creative. Yes, you. And you. And you over there. Not you. Just kidding, you too. Explore your creativity. Skillshare.
More machines. Play online with your friends. Destroy your enemies.
On BN Sports.
Good look at the stats. Reminder, this halftime brought to you by Geico. 60% possession for PSG. Although Clermont with 11 shots, they have just not been able to aim the lance at the bullseye. 2 goals, both scored by Ander Herrera. A bit fortunate, but they count. And PSG
A quiet day, Phil. That's, he wears number 8, but that's the engine behind Hamel. They've not really been able to do anything centrally out of that number 10 position.
Rashani coming in for Alavina, who has been the most dangerous player for Clermont, but for Gastien, I think not so much throwing in the towel, just realizing, let's save Alavina for another day. Not bad when you have a guy like Rashani coming off the bench, the Kosovo international. Something we've talked about through the opening 4 matches, and let's, I guess, check the report card here in the 5th. Each game, as we mentioned, that PSG has had to this point, the opposition has made them sweat. But each game, PSG seems to be getting better and better. And here against Clermont, they've given up a dozen shots, but for the most part, they've not troubled Donnarumma, and they've put 3 on the board the other way. So they're getting better as the season progresses, Thomas.
Yes, and they've done it in different ways, Phil. We've called all games, obviously. I think Poch has used probably 20-plus players already. And it's done most of the time without your superstars, which is another plus for Poch, who's still working on the system, the philosophy, regardless who's in the 11. Today is a very workmanlike team, quite frankly. If you look at that 11, without the Di Marias, the Messis, and the Neymars, obviously, but very efficient and hard-working on both sides of the ball.
Out wide for the Sul. Bumped at the top of the box, looking for a foul, not going to get it. Quickly out the other way, threaded forward, timing his run. Mbappe out of the starting gate, but he can't cross the finish line. Dema cut out the time, but Mbappe knows he should have done better.
Isregane Gay winning the ball in his own 18-yard box and then springing Mbappe. Tries to chip the goalkeeper right there, but the timing of his run initially, he tries to play it with the outside of his right foot, Phil. Just mishits that. With the ability of Gana Gay to find Mbappe after he recovered the ball. It's absolutely brilliant.
Will Pochettino point out that Rafinha was wide open for a square? Here comes Mbappe on his right foot, cuts back to the middle, 4v2 if they hurry. Mbappe, though, a one-man gang, headed in back post off the deflection, and that one's going to count. It's a little closer than his last blast, but it still counts the same. Idrissa Gana Gueye and PSG in a walk.
Mbappe, such a great weapon. Phil, again now, the power, the explosion, the ability to play with his head up. There's better options maybe. He goes out wide. He's able to get a step on that. Goalkeeper makes the save, and now we got a third goal that's being sniffed out. Red after a deflection. But Isregane Gueye gets his second of the year, Phil. We're getting quite a few guys involved. You just mentioned Herrera and now Isregane Gueye that are getting on the board for PSG, which is such a huge luxury for this team. There are some of the spectators that just flew in from Argentina. Paredes, Di Maria. There's Messi.
Idrissa Gana Gueye's first goal of the season was one that restored some balance against Stade Brestois from about 40 yards out. This one about 4 yards out.
Yeah, the midfield triangle, Phil, has really done a great job without losing their balance. And sometimes when you get a lot of good footballers in there that love to go forward, that love to connect in transition, you're vulnerable. But look at again, that triangle right now. Isregane Gueye playing the 10, Herrera dropping a little bit, and Pereira being the 6, and that is very good defensively. And then they pick their spots going forward from deep as well without losing your balance.
Well, let me ask you this, because you raise an interesting point. But remember, those three midfielders do not include Marco Verratti, Leandro Paredes, Angel Di Maria, Danilo Pereira, Gini Wijnaldum, or even the youngsters who have been so good in Ebimbe, Simon Sgarbi, and Michut. So it's not going to be easy keeping all those players happy.
No, it's not. But I think that everybody will buy in.
Chipped inside the middle. Nice try, Mike Aoui, but no one on the receiving end.
Again, good interior defending there on set pieces, competing for first and second balls. That's the best I've seen PSG this year, Phil.
Mbappe hungry, and he's going to win a throw-in.
This team, 1 through 20, will buy into the mere fact that he can do something very special this year. And that means at times sacrificing for the good of the team by not playing, but still contributing when your number is asked. I think that Poch is one of the better managers in dealing with personalities and keeping players not necessarily happy, but respectful.
Just not high enough to get over Hontonji. Shot from distance blocked away. And again,
he's feeling it, Phil.
Of course, the rate things are going today with all of the deflections, Clermont had to be a bit concerned, but instead of a goal, it's a corner as we approach the 70th. Mbappe, front post guarded by Dessous. Swept across and clears not what was in his mind.
No, this was not for Hakimi coming late. This was really for Kimpembe at the far post. Just overcooked that one, Phil.
Touch to the inside by Nsimba. Gastien. See a few more Clermont players loosening up on the sideline. A little surprised that Pochettino hasn't looked to the bench himself yet.
Yeah, I think the 70th minute should be the minute you're going to make your first or second substitutions as well. Ronaldo played Tuesday, so he should be okay for the Dutch national team.
Ball swept wide. Kawi. Radka into the middle. Nice by Kawi, but couldn't force it through that back line.
Well, again, Marquinhos did very well by sacrificing himself. Lost him a little bit, turned his back, but was still able to put a body on somebody, making it hard to get at the target. Again, Donnarumma not being tested because of very good defending in front of him.
Let me pick your managerial mind here a bit. The fact that it is such a big lead at the moment with 20 minutes left, and that Icardi is coming back from an injury, in fact coming back a little earlier than expected. If you're Pochettino, are you more likely to go with the 18-year-old Jan Sané, or do you give Icardi a run out?
Great question, Phil. I don't know his whole status, if he's completely 100%. It's a shoulder, so any kind of contact or falling again, maybe a few more days will get him 100%. I would not gamble that. I give a younger player an opportunity.
Out wide. Radka again. Spots. Tries to cut to the inside, but well played by Diallo. The ball won back, though, by Gastien, who's just coming back from an injury himself. A missed touch creates a chance here for Dessous. Kimpembe staying with him. It's been a good day for Kimpembe.
I was just going to say that, Phil. Very locked in today. That's the best I've seen him through 5 games now. Yeah, there should be a high five. A lot of times those center backs are in 1v1 situations where you have to win your battles every time, which hasn't been easy, but he's done it today with ease.
And here come the first flood of changes for PSG, and one of them is going to be Thilo Kehrer. Can pretty much play anywhere along the back 5 or 6. Dino Bimbe the other, and there, as you can see, capitalizing on the deflection with Risa Ganagay.
Yeah. Little shake there. There you go. They're feeling it.
And again, while the 4 is impressive, the 0 might be more important. It might actually have more legs. If you are Pochettino. Thomas, when you go to your next match, they'll be taking on Club Rouge. Some have said that when this is all said and done, Donnarumma will be the regular keeper and Navas will be the cup keeper. Does that cup include the European Cup?
Good question. I never have to worry about that because there's only Cup and MLS. So my backup goalkeeper would always play the Open Cup games. And the starter would play most of the MLS games.
And again, UEFA Champions League coming up on the 15th, and then next weekend it will be the rivalry against Lyon. So will we see Navas in either or both? But Donnarumma has done nothing to take himself out of the lineup here today. And remember, with him in net, Italy refuses to lose as well. So it's been a bit of a hot streak for Gigi. Bembe, Diallo.
Kerr, so flexible, Phil. We've seen him as a center back, left back, right back now, receiving the ball. Hakimi off. Which is good. Hakimi probably played more minutes than anybody else for PSG.
A couple of changes on the other side. Belong coming in for Ogier. Poked free in the midfield. And a first touch for the Senegalese international, Jean-Claude Billon. Samed harassed, and the foul against Pereira or Herrera, or both.
Getting a well-deserved rest. What a good game, Phil. Herrera will sit in. Ebendi in midfield.
And a player who came up as a more attacking player, but we've seen him in that central triangle throughout the preseason and into the start of this one, and it looks as though Dina Bimbe has adapted well. Here's Diallo, who continues his run out wide. Laid off, Draxler gets it back. Something you'd mentioned earlier, that match in Belgium just a few days away. Still a bit surprising, Mbappe out there. Not so much that he's going to get tired. He's still young enough, but that's part of it. But all it takes is one errant challenge and your entire season changes.
No doubt, Phil. I would have looked to get him off as well.
Diallo. Mbappe trying to flick it through. Bimbe challenging.
It's very evident. Mbappe involved in almost every goal. One of maybe the most important player you can ill afford to lose, in particular after Icardi was back from injury. You don't have another true number 9, so the one you can't, as I said, afford to lose due to an injury is probably Mbappe in this particular time. I think that Clermont Foot has been hard but very fair, Phil.
And even giving up 4 against PSG, no reason to hang their head. Still a lot of good things for Gastien to build on heading into their next match. And in some ways, He probably wouldn't admit it. He probably wasn't looking forward to it. But he does want to see how this team responds to defeat. And they'll get their chance against Brest in a match that should be a little easier to grab some points next weekend.
He had a good start. Before these games, put him in a position, Phil, where you can lose against the PSG like most teams do. It's the other games that are coming up, Phil, you're right.
Nice cut back for Kawi. Goal line, sneaks it back, but anticipating it well. Ander Herrera, one of the smartest players on the field. Nice touch by the big man Belong, and he almost hits Hamel. It might have been intended as a shot, but two cracks at the apple. Donnarumma keeps the sheet clean. And Bimbe challenging. And again, full credit to Clermont Foot. 111 years young. Sweet touch wide. And Simba early inside, but Marquinhos in the way again. Smart by Rashani, but nope, they're going to say it had crossed already.
And PSG really cleaned up inside that 18-yard box, Phil, the things they needed to do better. That's entry balls coming in where they've conceded in prior games. And here's the continuation of more substitutions for PSG.
Well, you might recognize the guy on the left.
Phil, we're good, by the way. Top, I think, is coming off.
And so he does get his near 80 minutes. The youngster coming in, Nathan Bitumasala, 18-year-old defensive midfielder. And he looked promising in the preseason. Signed his first professional contract last year after joining PSG way back at the age of 13. And looks like it might be Rafinha. Well, maybe the Brazilian just getting a drink. It's going to be Kimpembe who will check out. So maybe precautionary as he has that shin pad in hand and walking slowly with the trainer, but they can drop Kerr back.
Yeah, he can play center back or right back, Phil. He's more a defender by trade.
Good game for Presnel.
Yeah, much needed as well. And there you can see Poch has to be happy about not only his performance, but the overall defensive structure that he's trying to put in place, not just for this game, but going forward. Two consecutive clean sheets now, the way it looks.
And it does look like Bitumasala has gone over to the right back spot. Donnarumma under pressure, but he just shrugs off the Amel challenge.
Yeah, he's very lucky there. Cool first touch.
Again, Clermont, though, throwing bodies at the ball and winning it back. Locked away by Pereira. Into the 18, though, as they double team. Again, looking for a goal of honor. This is a team that has opened a lot of eyes, and even here at a 4-0, they've given PSG a few things to worry about. Rafinha dispossessed nicely. So Bitumasala has gone over to the right side. Kerr has dropped alongside Marquinhos.
Makes sense.
And again, Kerr, arguably the best defender not named Marquinhos so far this season. Trying to test that here, and Donnarumma with a Keylor Navas-like run out of the box. So that was important as he keeps the sheet clean.
Yeah, Hansi Flick was very positive about Kerr with the German national. He said, that's the best I've seen him. And you're right. For club and country, he's been stellar.
Dropping back Gastien, almost as a sweeper as they throw bodies into the attack, just looking to get something of consolation. Sedatka spinning away. Inside for Kawi, the Parisian-born Tunisian. This had to be a big match for him, a chance to play in his hometown. Belong and Simba.
Quietly look at Rafinha just making sure he stays goal side. Drexler on the other side as well, looking very hard to always get numbers around the ball. Lines are connected vertically and horizontally. This is hard to break down.
We saw this even at the start of this half. PSG, I don't want to say surrendering possession, but not panicking, because they know how lethal they can be on the break. Out wide for Rashani, but he couldn't keep it in, a little too wide.
That's a great point, Phil. You look at 3 of the 4 goals really come on counters. Twice from very deep, once in the middle third when they recovered the ball. Proactive on second balls, because 3 of the 4 come from deflections. Herrera twice, Isrigue once as well. So
now from a Clermont perspective, again, a team that's been scoring goals for fun, maybe a little too aggressive. And here comes Icardi trying to cut it across, but blocked. Great work by Jean-Claude Belong since he entered the game. And you almost wonder, a little more cautious, and maybe Clermont could still be in this match. Look at that. I mean, normally that is a stat that PSG dominates at, but it's almost level.
Thank you so much for being here
Swept
with
across,
me.
Icardi will track it down.
Match.
The Argentine with a little help and support, and he'll use Bitumassan.
4-0, a complete dominating play by PSG. This has been expected from the PSG, but the kind of play, the way Clermont Foot has started the match, they were looking dangerous, they had created chances, but unfortunately they could not convert those into the scoring opportunities. The current table in the League One. PSG is currently with 5 games played, 15 points with them, including the current match. They are at number 1 position. Clermont Foot is currently at number 3. Oh, could have been another goal for PSG. Clermont is number 3, Lorient and Martial are at 4 and 5 respectively. Angels are at number 2. This is the very initial stage of the league. We cannot say whether this is going to be the end result at the end of the season. But PSG, with having Messi, Neymar and possibly Mbappe if it doesn't go to Real Madrid, it's a deadly combination, the trio. There are a lot of players who can give the depth in the midfield. So Draxler is being substituted finally. Mendes is being replaced. Mendes will be substituted. Draxler having a good game. We have 6 minutes to go in the regular 90 minutes time. We are into the 85th minute right now. If you are new to my channel, if you haven't been here before, then please give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to this channel. Because we'll be doing a lot of podcasts for La Liga, Premier League, League One, Bundesliga and Champions League. We have seen a superb display from Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring 2 goals against his re-debut with Manchester United, and Manchester United thrashing Newcastle United by 4-1. 1 goal in the first half and 4 goals have been scored by both the teams. 3 by Manchester United and 1 by Newcastle United, but a dream debut for the fans, a dream debut for the Cristiano Ronaldo, for Manchester United. It's all a fairy tale story. My name is Mayank and you are listening to the League One podcast between Paris Saint-Germain and Clermont Foot. Please don't forget to hit the like, share and subscribe button before leaving.
Yeah, he certainly did, Phil. That's Icardi actually being very tough and physical with his upper body, arms out a little bit more and puts Samet in some duress.
Corner kick driven to the edge over Diallo.
Twice now we've seen
Nice by Diallo as he sweeps away from Rashani, who just kept his body in the way. A slide from behind, the referee letting play continue. And again, 88th minute winding to a close. Sticking a boot in Marquinhos. And out for a PSG throw.
Diallo really getting the crowd involved there. It's a left fullback trying to nutmeg, and here we go. What a sequence that is. Cuts back again through the legs. Should have crossed. He goes, no, let me come back again. And then he runs into trouble, but great skill set.
Could have been obstruction, but they never call that nowadays. So a sign of confidence in Diallo, because he'll be out there. Mendes getting a little more cover.
I wasn't always a starter for the strikers here, Phil, especially like our crowds. So every time I played, even in minutes, I wanted to make sure that I was a guy that you would still say, we're going to fight for this position for two players. Diallo's making some statements, not just today, but throughout. Kerr is as well.
And again for Mendes, maybe a sign, especially if they do go three back. We've seen that a bit, and again with Ramos coming in, that might be even more a possibility. Rafinha, but again belong to the rescue. Mendes, who is more wingback than fullback, getting a chance to play out wide, and considering Mbappe might slide more to the middle with Neymar and Messi, Mendes a chance to prove his versatility.
His dribbling crossing ability, Phil, with Sporting, also with the Portuguese national team, absolutely brilliant. And he's very confident. Concentration at a young age, not easy to do that. And he can play again multiple positions in multiple systems as well. So his versatility and quality will help this team.
Pretty much getting him for a song. Sarabia should do well in his stead, but PSG with a surplus of attackers, and left back has been a bit of a weakness. 4 minutes added. Can PSG add a fifth goal? Or will Clermont end the run of clean sheets? Belong and Simba. Even here, maybe proven to be a bit vulnerable. Clermont playing like a team that is confident they will not face relegation.
Correct. And if you Pascal Castagne
pushing forward. Little clip, Ebimba, free kick upcoming for the visitors. Still awaiting the debut as a starter and a home debut for Lionel Messi. Up in the stands watching his new team win convincingly. Didn't look that dominant in what might be expected. His first match after the Copa America in their last Liga game before he headed away for 3 matches with Argentina, but of course looked quite impressive for Argentina in that stead. So I think Pochettino got himself a player.